If there's one thing you should know about my turtles, it's that they're blind. Meet the 6 musketeers, 6 common musk turtles that I recently adopted, and they might also be appropriately called the blind bandits because all of them but one have eye problems. A couple of them have no eyeballs in their sockets, some of them have one functional eye, but essentially they all have vision impairment and are unable to see properly. So today I'm going to tell you how they became blind and also how I am accommodating for their disability and how they're dealing with it, essentially. What is up, guys? It is the Turtle Girl. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about why these turtles are blind in the first place. So I actually rescued these turtles recently, and before they were kept with that previous owner, the owner before that actually kept them with some fish that pecked the turtles' eyes out. And the owner didn't realize it until it was too late and the turtles took the worst of it. Which is why it's very important to make sure if you're adding tank mates with your turtle, you're monitoring them closely to make sure something like this isn't happening. So that's how they ended up with this disability. So when I first heard that they were blind, I was pretty nervous about taking them in because I wasn't sure how they were gonna eat. But according to the previous owner, they had been eating just fine and they're kind of able to sniff it out. And so I took them in, and now they're just chilling here in this 75-gallon tank, all 6 of them. I know in my video where I introduced them, there were some concerns about aggression. Not to worry, I've been keeping a close eye on all 6 of them. I've noticed that they kind of play bumper cars when they're in the tank. Because they don't have perfect vision, they kind of just bump around the tank trying to figure out their surroundings. Now, because they are blind, I wanted to make sure that we have lots of decorations inside the tank, just so that they have plenty around them to feel safe and secure. I find that a lot of times when they're resting, they'll kind of nestle right up next to a rock or a piece of wood. If you saw the video I did setting this tank up, you saw that I had a lot of plants in here. It all has essentially been uprooted with the exception of the Java fern. The Thalassoneria is gone. It's just the Anubias now, and it's kind of floating around the tank. I'll have to anchor it later on, but that just provides some structure and some cover for them to hide. The other thing I tried to do with this tank to accommodate that disability is having a lot of decorations reaching to the surface of the water. A lot of people will say musks are poor swimmers, which is a little bit true. They are bottom walkers, so they tend to use the lower area of the tank versus free swimming in the middle. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see the little guy. Oh, look at him. He's reaching the top right there. They can regulate their buoyancy, so I just tried to make sure there's a good amount of structures reaching to the surface of the water so that they're able to rest on their way up. Now, as for the turtles themselves, how does it affect them? Honestly, I have not noticed a drastic difference. Now, keep in mind, these are my first musk turtles, so I don't really know like the standard for their behavior and personality, but they kind of behave like any turtles do, swimming around, exploring their environment, coming out to eat and being little pigs whenever there's food in the tank. Like, that's normal turtle behavior. They might have a little bit more difficulty navigating and finding food, but when I feed them, they kind of just nose around in the sand, and when they, I assume, smell the pellet, they just chomp it up and eat it. They might miss a couple times, but they're actually able to spit out some of the sand that they eat, and the sand is fine grain enough that they are actually able to pass it through their system. So I haven't seen anything concerning as far as impaction. Occasionally while they're eating, they might bump their nose into somebody else's foot, and they might accidentally nudge it, maybe give it a little nip. But other than that, I haven't noticed any, I guess, intentional aggression between the two. I haven't noticed 2 turtles just fighting. It's only during feeding time where these little scuffles happen. So that's the only thing that I've really noticed that's a little bit concerning. So I'm just keeping a very close eye and making sure nothing else happens. So far, everybody's doing great. I don't think it makes them any less cute not having eyeballs. In fact, I think it's very sweet and endearing because they kind of just derp around the tank doing whatever. And I'm hoping to add some tank mates with them in the future, some peaceful fish, so maybe some live bearers like platies or something, but we'll see down the line. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more of these guys. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next Friday. Have a totally awesome day. Bye bye.